Well, the smartest process is just like when we sit down at a board meeting in a business. We need to look closer than just today. We need to look farther than tomorrow. We need to look far into the future as to what are the expenditures that we have to make sure that we allocate. It goes back to the prioritization of that budget. But the things that we really need to look at is we need to take into account every part of the state's budget. Right now, there's so much emphasis on Baton Rouge, New Orleans, coastal restoration, and all these things that affect the South. Now, coastal restoration does affect the entire state because that is a big industry that the state gets revenue off of, seafood, oil and gas. So, that's something that needs to be looked at. But when you come to the essence of the things that we would do or that my administration would do is to foster a more business-friendly environment. I would want to do everything I possibly can to help businesses grow. The only way we can increase revenue in Louisiana is either raise taxes or increase the number of taxpayers. So I want to make sure that we increase the number of taxpayers, whether it's through, now I'm a proponent of flat taxing because everybody pays their taxes. There's no loopholes in the tax code. If we do it on a consumption basis, everybody that passes through this state and spends money pays taxes. Every individual that lives in the state pays taxes, and they pay the same fair share. Right now, we've got so many problems with people that are bypassing their responsibility to pay taxes because we as a whole need to look at, and again, it goes back to accountability too. Those people need to feel accountable that I need to help pay the debt off in the percentage that I'm capable. Some people don't have $1 million, so they can't afford to pay high taxes. But if you got $1, and again, it goes back to the percentage. If it's a flat percentage, everybody pays the same. We can reduce government spending by taking the Department of Revenue down in size, which I'm going to reduce the size of government by 15% within my first year. That's a goal. Whether it happens, I'm going to strive for that, but I don't want to do it at the expense of the constituency. We need to make sure that we have an effective, functioning government. But when it comes back to paying our bills, what we need to do to make sure that we have the funds is increase growth, reduce the tax burden on every individual taxpayer, but increase the number of taxpayers. That's the best way forward. It's not about raising. I refuse to raise taxes. As a small business owner, as a family man, I can't afford to pay any more taxes. I'm already working for everybody else. I'd like to keep some for myself. So the only way we can do that, we have to pay these bills. We have to spend this money. So what we need to do to reduce the burden on each individual is to put more individuals helping to pay that. So, and again, through that is through business growth, business expansion, new business development, attracting more businesses into Louisiana. And that it opens up a whole new doors. People talk about businesses not paying their fair share of their corporate taxes. Well, there's a balance that needs to be looked at because you need to be competitive from a state level to attract that business that's also looking at Arkansas right north of the line. They're looking at Texas right west of the line, and they're looking at Mississippi to the east. So we're in a competitive business, so we have to make sure that we foster that competitive environment to bring business here, to increase the salaries, increase the number of people working. It increases the tax revenue and gives us a stronger, viable future.